The polar bear is one of the largest land carnivores, which can be a cunning, dangerous and fearless hunter no worse than a brown bear. They are very popular and there are many books, stories, and general information about the polar bear. They are associated with icy huge icebergs, freezers and cold drinks, yet we remember Coca-Cola video ads. International Polar Bear Day is celebrated on February 27th. This video contains interesting facts about polar bears that you might not know. Dear friend of this channel, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Although you may see polar bears and penguins together in commercials or some other movie, the two species never mix in real life, and penguins are not included in the diet of bears. Then a completely logical question is brewing: why don't polar bears eat penguins, and why don't they cross each other? And the answer to it is quite simple: these animals live on opposite ends of the earth, although both have a routine in icy waters. Polar bears live exclusively in the Arctic, while penguins live only in the southern hemisphere. So they are closest to each other only when they are in the same zoo. Polar bears are marine mammals because they spend most of their time at sea and on the coast. They mainly live in the colder regions of the earth and depend on sea ice. Even though polar bears are marine mammals, they can still move quickly on land. Polar bears are large animals, they have strong and fluffy paws with sharp claws. Polar bears live within the Arctic Circle, above 66 degrees latitude. This means that polar bears live in the northernmost parts of Russia, along with parts of the North American continent such as Canada and the USA. The habitat also covers most of Greenland and Norway. Did you know that the Arctic was named after a bear? In Latin, Arctica means bear in reference to the constellation Ursa Major. Polar bear nose. Polar bears don't have to worry about getting water up their noses. When they swim, their nostrils close to prevent them from breathing in the water. They can swim to depths of up to 5 meters, and although they usually only submerge for a few seconds, they can hold their breath for more than 2 minutes, allowing them to sneak up on seals lying on ice floes. In 2015, scientists reported that they had observed the record-breaking dive of a polar bear, which was 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The hungry bear chased 3 seals, swimming nearly 45 meters underwater before jumping out of the water where one of the seals was resting. The seal was not harmed. Do polar bears hibernate or not? While black bears, grizzlies, and other types of bears hibernate each winter, refusing to eat, drink, or move for months on end, polar bears stay active all winter. So why don't polar bears hibernate? It's just that polar bears don't need to sleep all winter because during the coldest months, they have plenty of food available, and they go out onto the sea ice to hunt seals without taking any time to sleep. The only exception is pregnancy, when a female polar bear digs her own den and stays sealed inside, surviving off her fat reserves until her cubs are big enough to survive in the big world. Polar bear diet. When there is a lot of food, polar bears are very picky about food. They hunt seals, but if there are many of them, they will not eat their entire catch. Instead, they will only eat energy-rich fat, up to 45 kilograms at a time, leaving the rest of the carcass for other animals to clean up. When the hunt is successful, the diet of polar bears is 90 to 95% fat. However, when bad harvest times come, they will gladly disperse and eat deer, rodents, seabirds, eggs, seaweed, fish, and anything else they can get their claws on. However, because their bodies are much better at absorbing fat than protein, the researchers believe that if the Arctic ice continues to melt and polar bears can't access the ice, with its fat seals, they won't be able to get enough calories from the earth to survive. Polar bears overheat quickly. You might think that with all this immersion in Arctic waters, polar bears get cold. But since they are designed to regularly withstand intense cold, they have the opposite problem. They overheat very easily and are more likely to die from the heat than from the cold. So why doesn't the polar bear get cold? And all because their 2 layers of fur and a solid layer of fat, up to 10 centimeters thick, maintain a constant metabolic rate, and body temperature fluctuates around plus 37 degrees, and during sleep up to plus 40. Polar bears run at up to 40 kilometers an hour if needed, but they can't spend much time chasing prey because they start to overheat. A bear's body temperature can rise to a feverish state if they move too fast. On land, they typically only move at 3 miles an hour, and their main hunting technique is to remain still for hours, even days, waiting for a seal to emerge from the ice to breathe. A bear has 42 teeth in its mouth. As a greeting, polar bears circle each other and grunt. Then, when they recognize each other, they touch their noses. In 1911, a polar bear was printed on the Greenlandic currency of 5 crowns. The largest polar bear ever found weighed 1,000 kilograms. It's just the size of a car. Their paws can be up to 30 centimeters wide. Polar bears also make up a significant part of the marine ecosystem. Their study is helping scientists figure out the speed and extent of change in the Arctic region. Invisible bears. No, it didn't seem to you that I said about invisibility. Watch the video further and you will understand everything. In addition to being excellent hunters, polar bears have the magical power of invisibility, at least when trying to detect them with infrared radiation. Scientists spotted this amazing phenomenon while flying over the Arctic to check on the bear population. The bears were difficult for scientists to see at first as they blended into their white surroundings. Considering themselves smarter than everyone else, the researchers decided to use thermal imagers, but to their bewilderment, they noticed that the bears were out of sight. Only the eyes, nose and breath were visible on camera. Scientists wondered if the bears' fat deposits are hiding their thermal radiation? Using the technological equipment of the National Laboratory, Lawrence Berkeley managed to reveal the secret of the invisibility of the polar bear. Thermal imagers not only determine the temperature of the surface, but also fix the radiation emanating from their targets. As it turned out, the radiation nature of the polar bear's fur is the same as that of snow, which makes it possible for the bear to become invisible in infrared light. Why are polar bears endangered? Polar bears have been categorized as a vulnerable species. They are endangered because the area they occupy is shrinking due to climate change and other factors such as pollution and the development of oil and gas fields. Because of what, according to forecasts, their population will decrease. I hope you have learned something new for yourself. Good luck everyone and stay with me.